All right, guys, welcome back to another recap. It is Friday. We're closing up the day green. As you can tell by the thumbnail, I am up $148.89, which is great because that was enough to cover yesterday's loss and then make some profit on top of that. So, great week. We've had a great week so far. I mean, not so far. We are closing a great week, actually. One of the best that I've had in a long time. So, yeah, let's get right into it. This morning, I got up and looked at my top gainer scanner. This is what I use every single day to see what's moving, and basically, I trade usually the three top gainers, or I mean, I'm looking at least at the three top gainers. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less, but yeah, these are what I'm looking for opportunities. So yes, pre-market gainers. I saw the biggest leader was CUE, and I was relieved to see that we finally have one that's a stock that's up over 100%. I feel like this past week we really haven't seen too much of that, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it's harder to find something that's obvious or very obvious or something that is making big moves and stuff. So anyways, I saw CUE. It's a biopharmaceutical company, and I see it's up on news. And so we're looking right here. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart usually, and I see that we've been putting in quite a move pre-market here. So if you take a look here, you're going to see that at around this was actually after hours yesterday, we made a move, and this morning at 4 a.m. We actually opened lower than we closed after hours, which is interesting, and we made a recovery from that. We came back up, and from there we pretty much double topped right here with yesterday's after hours high. So I found that to be very interesting and actually a potentially good setup, potentially very good setup. I actually do like seeing double tops like this because often if we can get a break from something like this, these things often have a lot of momentum, and you're able to actually have a very clear stop loss, and you can manage your risk well, if we have this. But this is not it's not a double top with topping tails. So we closed strong for both of them. So it didn't look like a flush point, if that makes sense. It didn't look like we were at high risk of a pop and then a drop, right? So this looked good to me. I kept that in mind, and my plan was that if we open and either dip and come up and break, or immediately just come up here and break this high, that would be my entry point. Also, another thing to note is this was already a higher price stock, and the free float here is ideal. It's good. It's low, but it is a higher price stock, so the spreads were higher. And I don't like to trade stocks that are this expensive usually. I'm not gonna completely ignore it or avoid it, but I am a little more cautious with this stuff because they don't tend to move as cleanly. I've noticed. I think it's just because there's less volume because people can't buy as many shares. But yeah, so that was the top leader for the pre-market, and the next one down was up 70%. It was Sober Safe Incorporated, and I have seen this stock make moves before. I've seen this multiple times before. I'm familiar with this stock. I can't recall exactly if I made or lost money on it, to be honest. But yeah, I saw this. It's a penny stock. It's below $1, and this technical setup, it was interesting. It's not like a super clean setup, but it did have potential. So we also, same thing, we popped up yesterday after hours, sold off in the pre-market, and then with a lot of volume came right back up and almost to $1 here. And then so we peaked at 96 cents. We pulled back here and into the closer up to the open, I was seeing that we were curling, right? So that was a good sign. That's what I like to see often. So the float with this one is also small, and to be honest, low float in my opinion is great. I'm looking for the lowest float as possible, but for some reason I've noticed over time that with penny stocks or stocks below $1, often if the float is too low, they get manipulated really easily, and you just have some crazy whiplash. I've just noticed that it's not all the time, like you don't see it all the time, but it's something that I've noticed in behavior with stocks like this. So yeah, there was that, and then LABT. And this one I really liked because not only were we seeing rising support here that I drew out, but we also had a kind of a flat top going on here. We had a rising wedge, if you want to call it that. So I really liked the setup on this one. The float's also good. Now, as for the daily chart, this one, it's a recent IPO, as you can see. It's only been around for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. It's only been around for 7 trading days. So not much history to base yourself off of here. The quote 200 moving average is not accurate because we don't have 200 days of data to calculate that. But we had that was right here either way, so we did have room, and we had from here a lot of room to any recent resistance to these previous opening highs. So yeah, there was that, and then for Sober, with a typical penny stock like this, it's just the absolute king of reverse splits. So you gotta like really zoom in with these, and often with these, you're gonna see the 200 moving average at an outrageously high number. So it's not a bad thing. It just means we don't have too much resistance with this. You don't have to worry about that. You're just looking at past chart history here, and really our previous high volume day was back here, and that high was at nearly $3, $2.95. So we had a good amount of room here, and with CUE with Q, I think, yeah, we did open already. I was looking at this, and if we were below here, this would be a concern. Not really a concern, but definitely something I'd be paying attention to this previous day here with this really large upper candle wick. We closed nearly where we opened, and so we would probably have resistance all the way up to here. But we opened higher than that, so from there I wasn't really concerned. And beyond that, this right here, I don't like to see like such thick movement, I suppose, if you want to call it that. It's just like very gradual, lots of price action moving slowly downward, because often what you do get is a lot of people up here, right? I mean, average volume is not, it's not super low. It's not like a non-traded stock. I mean, 370,000 for average is not terrible. I mean, today we had 17 million, but it's an outlier for sure. But it means that there is volume from people up here, and a lot of people that are holding from all the way up here. So we could have a lot of selling pressure, and it being a higher price stock, you get less volume anyway. So yeah, I was paying attention to that. So what I into the market open, I traded, oh, that's right. So I think it was ESPR that I did trade, or maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Let me actually double check here. I believe, okay, TLIH and AIOS. Okay. Okay, so they came down. Right. They were lower. Okay. So nothing looked too interesting there. Nothing, or at least not I guess not too interesting. Things looked interesting, but not into the open, right? Market open, none of what I was thinking what could happen did. This thing just immediately sold off. So that was out of the books for me. SOBR, I kind of missed this move, but I wasn't a fan of how it was trading, to be honest. It did move up, and I suppose I could have taken a trade here. Oh, no. I remember why I couldn't take a trade here, because I actually couldn't. I was looking at this as I was looking for the break of this, and when I went in to put my order, this message popped up. If I click buy, this popped up. This security can only be liquidated. And I've been seeing this more often recently with Webull, and it's actually really kind of aggravating me sometimes, because I am genuinely missing opportunities here. I guess I contacted Webull, and they said it's a clearing firm issue. So they're not able to do anything about it. It's their clearing firm that is locking these stocks up and only allowing liquidation to happen. So basically, I can't buy this stock. I wasn't able to this morning, and it kind of sucked, because this thing did put in a move. Not anything crazy. Still not the greatest price action, to be honest. Not the cleanest, but it did put in a 40% move in the open. Like, that's not nothing. I think for this break right here, I probably could have, made some decent money if I took the proper sizing. That could have been a good trade. This right here, when it pulled back and was curling upwards, this spike right here could have been a good scalp. So it was frustrating. I wasn't able to, and I really hope that Webull's gonna be able to do something about this in the future, because I can definitely see people starting to switch to a different broker, maybe with a clearing firm that doesn't lock these kind of stocks from being tradable. So yeah, that was unfortunate. That had to go without me. But we did have, which one was it first that popped? Okay, TLIH. We had TLIH. Where is it? It popped up after. So this was where I really could have fumbled. I mean, I did fumble, but it could have gone really badly for me. So nothing was going on over here with the top gainers initially, and so I wasn't able to trade. I wasn't able to trade Sober due to that. So into the open, I saw a TLIH pop up. This one, and I was looking at this, and it did have news. It had a it was up on a increase in revenue, I believe it was. If we look right here, let's see. Yes, revenue growth. It was reported revenue growth. So it did have news. It did have a catalyst, and I saw this thing pop up. It was on lighter volume. I think at the time it was still under 1 million shares of volume. And I did see this pop up, and it was halted, and I got a little excited. I saw on the daily chart that we had quite a bit of room to the 200 moving average, and also right here, this was a point of resistance, but that was also quite high, right? That's all the way up at $5, and here we were still in the $4 range. So we had some room. So it was halted, and I was waiting for the reopen to trade a dip and rip, because that's one of my strategies that I trade with halts, right? So I'm looking for basically a stock to be halted, it open, a dip, a recovery, and this happens a lot, right? We'll recover and rip upwards and halt up again, and you can get a pretty nice move out of that. So that was my strategy here, and honestly, it's not a flawed strategy. In theory, and in practice, it does work a lot, but sometimes, it just doesn't. This wouldn't have been a big deal, but I accidentally put in the wrong amount of shares. I accidentally got in with far too big size. I usually try to make trades, $2,000 trades, with $2,000 of buying power, basically. Whatever $2,000 can buy, that's my current kind of threshold for an entry position. Sometimes I'll go a little less if I'm less confident. With this, I think I was trying to do something around 1,500 to 2,000, but I ended up, when I got in, this thing opened, it dipped, and just into this dip, I was already down over $100, and I was like, what is going on? I'm like, why am I down so much? This thing isn't making too much of a move. So we dipped and we started coming up. I bought here. I punched it because I thought we were about to make a new high, and then it started moving lower and lower and lower, and I was down nearly 300, and I was like, uh-oh, well, that's not good. That's really not good. That would have given back almost my entire week. So I didn't panic sell. I decided to wait it out because I didn't think that this was going to completely reverse. This still felt like a dip and rip, but it felt weak. So I decided to hold it off to see what it was going to do. Because, yeah, like I honestly here by this point I was already like, okay, I need to get out. But thankfully we did recover. And not that I was not willing to stop out. If we were to, especially if we were to make a new low right here, I would have had to cut the loss, and it would have been a very large loss. I was in with 750 shares, and I think I entered around 418 if I recall correctly. And I mean, this dipped down, like 50 cents already. Or close to 50 cents, and so I was down quite a bit. And that could have been a very large loss and wiped out my entire week. So really, really, a really bad fumble right there. But we did come back up, and I was ready to sell for a small loss. I think it came back up here, and I was down about 50. But by the time I had exited, it did pop back up above my entry, and I made $100 from it. So best case scenario with something like this, right? So that could have been very, very bad. Best case scenario happened. I'm glad it did. It's not like I wouldn't say this was necessarily a strategy or a trading issue. I don't think that I was wrong for taking this trade. It was definitely just an execution fault, and sometimes accidents do happen. We try to make sure that they don't, and I think this is why I need to after this happened, I decided to implement a hotkey for exiting half, because I didn't want, when I was down here, I didn't want to close completely, but I did want to size down for sure, because I was not about to suffer a $400+ loss. So and I wasn't able to do it, so because I was fumbling around, and I had to put it manually in, so if I had the hotkey, I would have been able to size down and probably have exited with a smaller loss. So definitely got to work with that with my whole execution process here. And but yeah, so it did turn out, thankfully, not my proudest work at all. It was definitely more of a haphazard win. I wasn't really expecting to or really supposed to be honest. But thankfully, best case scenario happened. We closed that out. We were up 100. So I decided to step back and take a little break. I was like, okay, you need to calm down a little bit here. That was just a little jump scare for you. So I needed to cool off a little bit. So I sat back, up 100, and I was pretty much ready to walk away because I'm like, all right, bro, at this point you need to. We gotta chill. You made it out. You made it out alive from today. So don't take that for granted, and don't flip this around. And I was mentally prepared to walk away. I wasn't necessarily trying to push for another trade, but we did have, gosh, my short-term memory. I think it was, yes, AIOS. We had a big move here happen today. So after that, I was noticing, I went and actually made some coffee for myself. I really wasn't planning on taking another trade, but when I came back down, I saw we had AIOS popping up on no news, by the way. So again, I am not opposed to taking no news setups. Is it like a plus setup? No. And is it a higher price stock? Yes. But I decided to, with small size, I only took 20 shares. As we were halted up here, I believe I took the resumption of this, just for a quick move up, if I'm correct. Let me actually fact check that real quick. Yes. So I took a actually similar setup to what I was trying to do with ESPR that failed. I decided to take it again, but with smaller size, with appropriate sizing this time. It halted upon resumption. We dipped. I bought, and as we came up here, I sold. Just for a small gain added to the day. And yeah, this thing did put in quite a move. It after that it came back down and it was kind of grinding higher. So I wasn't really interested in taking any more trades after we started seeing less clean price movement. It's just kind of, I mean, it is moving up, but it is a lot of up and down going on here. So yeah, I'm gonna quit yapping so much. That's pretty much the two trades that I took. Made it out alive. We're gonna try to. I'm actually going to go and create a hotkey now to actually execute the appropriate size trades. Example, like buy $2,000 worth of whatever, of the stock that I'm on. So that way we don't have any more of these kind of incidents happen, because that could have been pretty bad. That would have been an expensive mistake. And I guess sometimes we do have to learn the hard way with trading, and it really burns it into your memory. But thankfully, we did make it out of this one alive. Lesson learned. We're closing out this week really, really well. This is the most ideal week ever. We had 3 green days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday was a small red day. And closing up Friday, making up for Thursday's loss. And yes, so we're actually closing today, this week at $600. And that's awesome. Like, I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity to be able to do this. It's really been a journey so far. I'm actually coming up on 2 years of trading. And it's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears with this stuff. Lots of losses, lots of emotions, and lots of hard lessons learned. I'm very grateful that I've been able to learn this and get better at it. Not saying that I'm it's all sunshine and rainbows right now. But we do seem to be doing much better. And so I'm happy for that. It's been a great week. I'm hoping to continue this for next week. And maintaining size, maintaining risk, keeping our head down, and just grinding every day, putting in these gains. And they really do stack up over time. So I think that's the best way to go. Like I like to say, we're not saving this trade, we're saving tomorrow. So, and as long as I keep that mentality, I think we'll be doing all right. So, hope you guys all did well. Have a great weekend. Take this time to definitely study. Look into what trades you took. I will be doing the same, looking at my data. And taking it to improve. That's what we're always trying to do with this stuff. And so that's it for me. I hope you all have a great weekend again. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a great week. And you guys have a great one.